Good morning. Hope you're ready for another joke or two. A woman on a television audience participation show was asked the name of her favorite author. "Why, it's my husband," she replied. "Your husband?" questioned the interviewer. "What does he write?" The woman smiled brightly, then answered, "Checks." A neighbor telephoned his neighbor at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, "Your dog is barking and keeping me awake." The other neighbor called him back at 3 a.m. the next day and said, "I don't have a dog." A well-known politician asked one of the opposition to lend him a quarter. "I want to call one of my friends," he explained. "Here's 50 cents. Call all of your friends." A father was buying a fountain pen for his son's birthday gift. "I suppose it's to be a surprise, sir," said the clerk. "I'll say it is. He's expecting a new car." A boy said to his father, "Dad, the principal said for me to invite you to a small meeting at the school." "How small is it, son?" the father asked. "It's you and me and the principal." "Darling," she cooed, "would you like some tender chops, nice browned potatoes, string beans, and a delicious apple pie with cheese?" "No," he answered wearily. "Let's eat at home and save some money." A traveling salesman was driving in the country when his car broke down. He hiked several miles to a farmhouse and asked the farmer if there was a place he could stay overnight. "Sure," said the farmer. "My wife died several years ago, and my two daughters are 21 and 23, but they're off to college, and I'm all by myself, so I have lots of room to put you up." Hearing this, the salesman turned around and started walking back toward the highway. The farmer called after him, "Didn't you hear what I said? I have lots of room." "I heard you," said the salesman, "but I think I'm in the wrong joke." A blind man, a lesbian, and a frog walk into a bar. The barkeep looks up at them and says, "What is this, a joke?" A man is making love to his best friend's wife when they hear the husband's car in the driveway. He dives into the closet. The husband comes in, goes to the closet to hang up his jacket, sees his friend standing there naked, and says, "Lenny, what are you doing here?" Lenny sheepishly shrugs and says, "Everybody's got to be somewhere." "It was horrible," the man was telling his psychiatrist. "I was in Brazil on business, and I wired my wife that I'd be home a day early. I rushed home from the airport and found her in bed with my best friend. I don't get it. How could she do this to me?" "Well," said the psychiatrist after a long pause, "maybe she didn't get your telegram." A man is praying to God. "Lord, I would like to ask you a question." The Lord responds, "No problem, go ahead." "Lord, is it true that 1,000,000 years to you is but a second?" "Yes, that is true." "Well then, What is $1 million to you? $1 million to me is but a penny. Ah, then, Lord, says the man, may I have a penny? Sure, just a second. A Manitoban won a bundle of money in the lottery, transforming him from a poor man to a wealthy one. A reporter from the local newspaper checked on him a year later. Have you found, sir, that the money has changed you any? The news hound inquired. Well, for one thing, the lottery winner replied, I'm now eccentric, where I used to be just plain crazy. And for another thing, I'm now clever and witty, where I was once just the fellow who knew the punchlines to all the dirty jokes. An American was extolling the U.S. electoral system. A Canadian took umbrage. Yours may be more exciting, but ours are more sensible. We don't have those foolish primaries and your outdated electoral college. What do you mean? The American responded. The American political system is genius. It's idiocy, the Canadian persisted. Well, the American shot back, there's a very thin line between genius and idiocy. You're right, the Canadian agreed. We call it the U.S.-Canadian border. And until another time, goodbye.